Now, in this program, any resemblance between the people you see on the screen and real living people is purely intentional. Because, in fact, they are real, and it's our pleasure to catch them in the act of being themselves.
Hey folks, Rogue Nation here with you today. And today we're going to be watching a little bit of a different type of video. What we got here before us is a meeting with the Florida Athletic Commission, and they're going to be discussing increasing the regulations to qualify for to be a judge or to be a referee. Now, I was invited to this by a good friend, Mr. Larry Downs. A lot of you folks will know him as the gentleman that hosts the Auditpalooza event up in Pensacola the last couple of years. And Larry Downs is a referee for MMA, I believe, type events. And he invited me to come and see how they are increasing the regulation. And Larry believes, and I believe as well, that is a way to influence who is able to, officiate these events, leaning more towards people that agree with them and their, beliefs, which Larry is, everyone knows, is a freedom advocate who's not afraid to speak his mind. You will hear both Larry and me talking to the commission here. It is definitely a longer video, but I want to know what you guys think about the logic shared here in this video that you'll be hearing in the comments section below, if you would. I really would like everybody's take on this regulation that they passed here. So with that being said, guys, happy holidays to everybody. And always, guys, we'll see you on the next video, because there's always going to be another.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you ready to do a roll call? We'll go ahead and open the meeting.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
Do we need to adjust the volume?
Just for us, can you turn that on?
Okay, so let's open the meeting with a roll. I call this to order.
Okay.
At 9:06 due to technical difficulties.
Yes, 9:36. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lena Hurtado, and today today is December 10, 2025, and we're holding a general business meeting for the Florida Athletic Commission. Ms. Tina Pike, Chair.
Here.
Mr. Jeremy Weppy.
Here.
Mr. John Hawley.
I'm here.
Mr. Adrian Nunez. Mr. Nunez. Okay, he's here. Dr. Anup Patel.
Here.
Thank you. Madam Chair, we do have a quorum.
Okay, wonderful. So Commissioner Nunez is not present, is correct?
He is present. I guess his audio is off, but we did see a raised hand.
He is here.
Nunez, yes.
Okay.
And Madam Chair, if I may, I just want to mention that we also have our Executive Director present, Mr. Timothy Chipman, Assistant Executive Director Greg Pitt. Do we have Mr. Tim Frizzell, our counsel? Yes, he's online.
I am here.
Casey Lawson, Director Designee, is also online. Mr. Mark Miller is also present. Ms. Sandra Castro.
I'm here.
She's here too. And as I mentioned, my name is Lena Hurtado, Government Analyst for the Commission. Madam Chair, we're ready.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Commissioner.
Tina, can you hear me? It's Adrian.
Oh, hey. How are you?
Sorry, I was trying to, something's wrong with my microphone. Figure it out. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, and you got it. Very good. Thank you. Welcome. So let's go ahead and approve the minutes. Everyone read them? Were there any additions, changes that you noticed? No,
Motion to
hearing none.
approve, Webby.
Thank you.
Second, Holly.
Motion to- Thank you very much. So let's go ahead and approve the minutes. Holly, Commissioner Holly.
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez,
Yes.
Commissioner Patel,
Yes.
Commissioner Webby,
Yes.
Commissioner Pike, yes. Motion goes unanimous. Okay, the second agenda item is the Amateur Sanctioning Organization Biennial Review. So do we have Director Shipman?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, I'm going to turn over the ASO biennial review for the Assistant Executive Director, Mr. Gregory Pitt, and Ms. Sandra Caslow.
Thank you very much.
We have 15 ASOs up for their biennial review. Before we get- Sorry, what's that? Before we get started, I'd like to make an update on the record regarding the materials for ACE Pro Consultants. The materials indicate that we didn't receive 10-day notices for 3 of their dates in 2024 and 1 of their dates in 2025. Upon further review, all notices were received for these dates. The dates in question are 10/19/24, 12/6/24, 12/14/24, and 8/8/25. So to summarize, regarding 10-day notices, we did receive everything we needed from ACE Pro Consultants.
Okay, very good.
All right. With the exception of USA Boxing, who is on the agenda today regarding a disciplinary matter, there were no complaints received during the review period and no violations were found during compliance checks. However, 4 of the ASOs up for review have they let their registration lapse with the Division of Corporations. So my recommendation is we provide approval to all the ASOs on the list with the exception of the 4 that allowed their registration with the Division of Corporations to lapse. And we allow those 4 a certain period of time to get up to date with the Division of Corporations. So in other words, with the exception of USA Boxing, who we're going to address later in this meeting, there were no major issues with any of the ASOs up for review.
So right now, we're going to go ahead and we're looking for a motion to approve for all of the ASOs except those particular 4. So we'll just motion to approve for the ASOs that are all in compliance.
Yes, and I can give you the specific, page 9 of the agenda lists each ASO. I can give you the specific numbers that are all, all maintain their registration with the Division of Corporations and that we recommend for approval. And I believe we could approve all those as a group. And those would be.
Okay, we did last time. It was in the minutes.
So the
okay.
So those would be number 1, numbers 3 through 7, number 9, number 11 and 12, and numbers 14 and 15 for approval.
14 and 15. So 1, 3,
So
2,
moved.
7, 9. Oh, very good. Holly makes a motion. Pike will second. Any discussion, gentlemen? Okay, we'll take the vote. Commissioner Holly,
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez,
Yes.
Commissioner Patel,
Yes.
Commissioner Webby,
Yes.
and Pike is a yes too. Motion approves unanimously. So are we going to do back to the 4, that's the contingency, the 30-day, give them time, as we did last time?
Yes, there are 4 recommended for conditional approval pending registration by the ASO with the Division of Corporations within 30 days from the issuance of the final order. Those numbers are 2, 8, 10, and 13.
Holly, so moved.
Okay. So we have a motion. Pike will second. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, we'll take the vote. Commissioner Holly?
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez?
Yes.
Commissioner Patel?
Yes.
Commissioner Webby?
Yes.
Commissioner Pike is a yes. Motion approved unanimously. So, Assistant Director Pitt, what's next? Do you have any more for us on that one?
No, that's all for the ASOs. I believe we move on next to the rules with Executive Director Shipman.
Good morning,
Okay.
everyone. To not slow
Good
the
morning.
process, I will continue concerning the rules discussion. The Florida Athletic Commission has been doing cleanup concerning rules that we have that may have some spelling errors or some inaccurate information in them at this time. So I think we will have to get approval for each one of these rules individually. So I will go ahead and start with Rule 61K1 3.003, Executive Director Duties and Responsibilities. That is a spelling error, not a spelling error, but a correction for 1E, where it used to say tentatively. We want to change that to approve. And that is all we have for changes on that specific rule.
Okay. So this is page 9.
K1 -3.003.
Sorry, the page on the packet, please.
Page 973, Tina.
973.
973.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Motion
Okay.
to approve.
Mr. Frizell. Oh, thank you, Mr. Holly. We have a motion to approve. Do I have
Nunez, second the motion.
Second.
second? And which commissioner was that? I'm sorry.
Nunez.
Webby.
Commissioner Nunez, second. Do we have discussion? This is where I'm going to ask, because I know it was mentioned. Mr. Frizell.
Madam Chair, if it's all right with you, I think I'm going to hold off on doing the magic questions until we get through all of these because they're a little lengthy and I don't want to go through them all.
I'm sorry. What? Can you say that again? A little slower, please.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. I know this would be the time that I normally ask the magic questions, but considering we have a relatively large rule discussion or rule agenda, I would appreciate if we could do this all at the same time and have the questions regarding all of them at the same time. So I only have to ask them once.
Okay, so we can do that. Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. So we can go into a discussion. Can anybody speak on this one?
I would
If you're asking-
like to speak as well. This is Larry
Mr.
Dowd.
Frizell?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Public
you.
comment is appropriate.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you very much. Okay, and the comments are 3 minutes. So, Mr. Downs,
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
doing well, thank you. What do you have to say on this rule?
Good to hear you, Mr. Frizzell. I've always enjoyed you at these meetings. Good to see you back. Anyway, yeah, anytime I don't know. I've been busy working, which is what most of us, citizens do while the bureaucrats are out making rule changes and and new requirements that the free citizens of Florida and the free state of Florida have to abide by. So, I just want to make sure that anything that y'all change, that it goes along with the free state of Florida. So in other words, if he's talking about tentatively and then must be approved, that's a different situation. I would rather the executive director and the agencies and departments, I would rather them have less authority over the people, and I would rather the free citizens of the state of Florida to have more control and direction over their own lives, so that y'all are not legislating, regimenting every aspect of our lives. Thank you much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Downs. Have anyone else to speak on this matter of this particular rule change? Hearing none. We have a motion on the floor. Let's vote on it. So Commissioner Holly.
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez.
Yes.
Commissioner Patel.
Yes.
Commissioner Webby.
Yes.
And Commissioner Pike is a yes too. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay,
Next rule.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna move to the next rule, 61K1-3.008, judge license and duties. This is an update.
73.
Page 974.
974, thank you.
For this rule, ma'am, this is gonna be a change in the rule under number 1 concerning first time applicants for boxing, kickboxing, or mixed martial arts judge license. First must be licensed as a trailing judge, which we already have, in evaluation trailing process under the supervision of the commission, and to unofficially score bouts. Judge allows for evaluation of an applicant's knowledge of judgment and ability to perform the duties outlined in this rule prior to the issuance of a judge license, and does not authorize a holder to officiate in any official capacity during a sanctioned event. And this is going over and clarifying the processes. On number 2, an applicant may be issued a judge license after unofficially scoring, which is a change to a minimum of 100 rounds of boxing or 50 rounds of kickboxing or mixed martial arts in the state for a minimum of 12 months as trailing judge, demonstrating during this period that he or she has the ability to perform the duties of the outline in this rule. And the reason that we're requesting this is because with 50 rounds, as the shows are bigger at this time, a trailing judge can attend 50 rounds in 2 fights, and they have no clue of what they're doing without any official training. And this will provide an opportunity to evaluate. So when the license is converted to a official's judge's license, that we are confident that they know what they're doing and not having any problems with making the right scoring, filling out the basic cards, and actually understand what the scoring criteria are. And this is the same thing for the mixed martial arts from an evaluation standpoint. Whenever we're at events and we're collecting the cards for new judges, they have a problem with understanding the scoring criteria and actually being experienced. So if you attend 1 event or 2 events and you have 50 rounds, that's not enough to make sure that, that the fighter's getting what he or she deserves. Down on 2B, officials from jurisdictions outside of the state. This clarifies us that we use officials from outside of the state, especially concerning and supporting sanctioning organizations, as we have officials that work in these capacities and a part of these sanctioning organizations. And trailing trailing for a referee that is already experienced must show the prior experience before they're allowed to actually participate in a contest in the state of Florida. And that is all I have on this one now, on 61K1 3.008.
Okay. Thank you, Director. Is there a motion to approve the change of this rule?
Madam Chair, this is Mr. Brazell.
Yes, sir.
So number one, there may be public comment on it, but also I just want to point out to the commission, while I'm in full support of the change after discussing this at length with Director Shipman, I will point out that the increase of the scoring rounds from 50 to 100 does represent a regulatory increase and a more stronger burden. So there may be some challenges and there may be some questions that this may be brought back before the commission to have to answer.
Then it may be brought back when?
I don't know. I'm just speculating since this represents.
I didn't hear you, Giselle. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just speculating since this represents an increase in regulation, that there may be some questions. It may go through like normal. I'm just anticipating the worst because that's my job.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you. So can we take a motion, then discussion, or how would you like to do this? How do you see it best to be done?
If there's any public comment or any discussion by the commission members, now would be the appropriate time, or a motion to approve.
Good. Well, what I would like to ask.
Motion to approve.
Oh, thank you. He said to go ahead and make a discussion first. Is that correct, Mr. Frizzell?
You can do a motion if there's a second and then open the floor for discussion. That's perfectly appropriate as well.
That's what we usually do. Thank you. We had a motion to approve this rule. Who did that? Was that Holly? Commissioner Holly?
That was Jeremy Webby. Motion to approve as
Thank you.
stated by
Okay.
Director Shipman.
Second.
And I didn't hear the second. Who was the second?
Mr. Nunez.
Oh, thank you very much, Commissioner Nunez. So we can open the floor for discussion. I do have one question right now as I'm listening to it. Director Shipman.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
said that we're doubling the amount, correct? Were you finding at 50 that they were not getting enough experience?
That is correct,
things
ma'am.
happening?
That is
What
correct.
were you?
Go ahead, ma'am.
I mean, to double. What were you finding the judges?
And it's different.
Can you explain a little bit more as to what made everyone decide in order to really make people safe, the judges understood entirely, you're going to double the amount?
Yes, ma'am. For MMA, it stays the same. However, for boxing, the recommendation to increase those rounds, and in particular for each one of them, a judge that has no experience coming in to score a professional round for a fighter without experience causes undue harm to the fighter or the participant. Therefore, when these judges, they think that, hey, it's good, I can come in and I can do it, not realizing that there's a scoring criteria that you have to understand to be able to judge appropriately. From many of the scorecards that they turn in after they're judging an event, they're not nowhere near or 98% close to what the scoring judges are. Therefore, it does cause a problem to the participants if they are actually put on a card to judge. So that is the real problem that we're facing right now. Usually because the number of fights that we've had in the past have continued to grow. And we were trying to get judges, I guess, assumed through the pipeline to be able to score and judge. However, it is not conducive, nor is it fair for the fighter to not get the just that he or she deserves when they're competing at a professional level.
So you're finding a big discrepancy between the judges who have been around for a while.
That is
and
correct.
The new judges.
Yes, ma'am.
In the scores. Okay, that explains a few things.
Mr. Frizzell, Commissioner Nunez, can I ask a question?
Of course.
Mr. Frizzell, you said that doubling would probably create a challenge. Doubling the regulation would create a challenge. Is there any increase that would not create a challenge, or just going from 50 to 51 can create a possible challenge to it?
Yes, in the particular, there has been a strong push towards deregulation over the last several years, and this represents regulation. or additional regulation. I believe that this discussion that you're having right now is exactly what you need in order to be able to answer those questions. I just believe that those questions may come, and that we should be prepared. And having this discussion as to why this number was chosen and why the additional regulation is required for the safety of the citizens is exactly what needs to happen.
Okay, thank you. Commissioners, any other questions?
This is Commissioner Holly. I do have one quick question for Director Shipman. Director, do we believe that this increase in hours will result in better trained referees and better or more safety in the future?
From a safety perspective, the scoring doesn't really apply. However, for fairness of competition of the fighters to receive their just due and the judges being able to score accurately is the bigger problem. It's the fairness of the competition between the fighters and the technical knowledge that a judge need to have before they are actually assigned to a professional event. What we usually do is we start from a bottom at a lower level type fight, which we often call a club fight, where there's not as much at stake. However, in my opinion, that first fight for a fighter is just as important as someone who's got 10 or 15 fights under their belt. A win or a loss reported in the National Registry goes against that fighter record and can have some impact upon him. And I think that the fairness is for our officials, judges, to be able to score those rounds accurately and know what they're supposed to be doing and following the standard criteria, which is set out by the Association of Boxing Commission under the Unified Rules of Boxing or the Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Director Shipman, this is going with the boxing rules?
Excuse me, ma'am?
Okay, this is going to be going along with all the other standardized rules for boxing? The judges?
For our numerical number that I have on the rules is not part of the unified rules. However, the scoring criteria is under the unified rules for both boxing and mixed martial arts, which is the responsibility of the judge to score accurately and appropriately.
And you find this is the best way?
Yes, ma'am.
Learning. Yes. Learning, observing. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, public, any questions out there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please state your name.
Larry Downs Jr.
Oh, hello, welcome.
Thank you. Y'all know I'm a freedom advocate. Anyway, this rule expands the government, expands more requirements, it's basically a protectionism law so that they can keep, and you got to remember, I've been around this 30 years, 35 years. This is so that they can keep certain judges, and you could move it on over to referees, whatever you want. But it's to keep certain judges in the position because most people will not ever reach that 100 hours. It's a ridiculous amount. You can go, and the 100 hours for the boxing is a ridiculous amount. Wife went through all of this, and for the boxing, the kickboxing, the MMA.
It's 100 hours. I see 100 rounds.
I mean 100 rounds. So, yeah.
Rounds.
So you got to travel all over, and you have to do this, and then, it doesn't lead to any better judging. I know that it's easy to say that, just like with refereeing or anything else. It's easy to say it, but you can see that people have 5 years, 10 years, all on UFC, HBO, around the country, around the world, well-experienced judges, and everywhere in between, making bad decisions. I've refereed hundreds of matches that I'm standing in the center ready to raise the winner's hand and be like, what the hell those judges just see? What fight were they watching? Everybody knows this. It happens all the time. The UFC commentators, everybody does it. The amount of rounds is just, all it is an arbitrary, capricious way
This is for,
to keep,
so this
to
is for
keep
boxing.
people, for MMA, it don't matter. It's an arbitrary, capricious way to keep people out. It does not, I don't care if they do 1,000 rounds, it doesn't mean they're going to be a good judge. They can do, and most judges do a lot of amateurs, and either you got it or you don't. It's just like all the referees that I have trained, that y'all used. I've trained them. Larry Folsom, multiples. Either they're good or they're not. It doesn't, the amount of arbitrary numbers y'all put on them so that selectively they can be chosen as favors, whatever you want to call it. It's the truth. It ain't about safety, because just like Tim told me, oh, you don't have enough experience to referee the good fights, Larry. Well, if it's about safety and the health and safety, isn't the guy with no fights just as important? I mean, come on. This is another expansion. This is another expansion. Please don't do it. You are limiting the people who can participate. They may have 10 years in amateur experience and they're ready to go. This is another way for an executive director to control and put into position the people that he wants, and the people that he don't like, to say the things that he don't like. He will not use them. And it's that simple. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Downs. I've always found experience, especially they're going to be trailing, so therefore they are part of it. So I just think experience does count. I've seen it in so many different areas, not just in our combat sports, but in any area. So I don't quite understand that. Do we have any other comments?
Yes, please. May I offer input?
Yes. Who is this, please?
This is Corey Schaefer. I'm president of ISKA. Specific to this point, 50 rounds is a pitiable amount in preparation to be an arbiter to determine the success or not as a career of a professional fighter. Doubling to 100.
To say that the word again that you said to describe 50 rounds is
pitiable.
Is a what?
It's pitiable. It's doubling it to 100 should be the minimum. And based on experience in other jurisdictions, something else that could be considered is an objective percentage evaluation of the efficacy by comparing the scores of the trailing judge to the scores of the experienced judges actually evaluating the bout. So that it's not just a question of volume of rounds, but a comparison of the trailing judges' scores percentage-wise in accuracy as compared to the actual judges judging the bout. But continuing education and increasing the requirements to be licensed as a judge and to maintain a license is the hallmark of what we do as regulators. So from this side, full support.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Director Shipman, do you have any comments on what Mr. Corey just said?
Yes, ma'am. I concur with what Mr. Corey said, and we do actually score whenever we're at a fight as the director, executive director, or designee, review those scorecards as those judges turn them in. And at the end of the fight of that they're working, we always bring them together and ask them, what did you see that these judges that are actually scoring didn't see? And I don't have it written, but I require about a 98% accuracy. And with that accuracy amount, it would tell me or whoever is working that fight and reviewing the scorecards, as you review them round by round with that person that's sitting in a seat beside you, to understand that they don't know or that they know what the rules are. There's nothing to keep a judge from, or someone who wanted to be a judge, and there's no favorites as someone who's a judge that we use. There's a rotation on a fairness basis. If you're a starting judge, you're going to start off at the bottom to work your way to the bigger cards. There's no fast pace or fast action to get there, with the exception of your knowledge and responsibility and taking your own career as an official, whether it's judge or referee, into your own hands and attend unified training by organizations as the ABC and getting your certification or your license or moving on. This is not a closed society where you sit down and you think you're going to get in there and you're going to do it, because, as I said previously, you only hurt those fighters. And I said, I'm going to say what I said again. No matter if it's that first fight or that 100th fight, that fighter deserves to be scored appropriately. And that's why I have actually this to go increase.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any more questions or comments out there?
Yes, I have a comment. Can you hear me?
Yes, and you are, please?
I'm Majorly Awesome. I'm a journalist here in the state of Florida, focusing on government accountability. And I'm attending this meeting because there's some regulation involved, like Mr. Frizzell said. So one of my major questions happens to be, what scientific analysis was done to assure us that 100 rounds is the appropriate number for this level of excellence? What kind of data did we use to say that 52 is not the exact number of experience you need, or 68 rounds, or how did we come up with the 100 rounds is going to assure us 100% that this judge knows exactly what's going on?
Mr. Shipman?
Yes.
Can you answer that question, please?
For information concerning what is the magic number, there is no magic number. From experience and actually looking at the scores and judging officials, the first fight or the second fight that a judge has scored, you can kind of tell where they are because they have trailing cards that they turn their cards in. Most judges, as moving from the amateurs to the pro, and they have no idea in many cases because they're not educated. You want to walk off the street and say, I can judge. There's many things that you have to understand when you're talking about judges. So there is no magic number. However, 50 is enough for the athletic commission to assess where those judges are in mixed martial arts, as well as the 100 in boxing. So even if you're talking about cutting a regulation and you don't want it, then you're not doing what we're supposed to do for the fighters, which is to be fair to the fighters, regardless of how you feel about the government. So it's all about fairness of the fighter and getting judges into a position so they can judge accordingly. And they are evaluated using scorecards. Some will get it faster than others, but they will still have to do their rounds. Some will get it slower than others, that they will not get the opportunity to judge as fast as they think they are.
So let me
Very good.
Yeah, let me finish up then, if I could, from Mr. Shipley there. Before this regulation that you're introducing today, and correct me if I'm wrong, the rounds for boxing were also 50? Is that correct?
No, that is incorrect. The rounds are 100.
Okay, they're 100 now, so you're not changing the boxings to 100. They've always been 100.
Previously was 50.
Okay, great. So, and I'm guessing that regulation of 50 rounds was probably a policy for years. Am I correct?
It was changed some years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't exactly remember when, but it was changed.
Okay. And so for 4 or 5 years, you had 50 rounds, and you guys were able to assess good judges in those 4 or 5 years? Or are you guys telling me that all the judges that you passed in the last 4 or 5 years were incompetent?
I didn't say that. And
okay,
please don't put words in my mouth.
I'm just asking.
What I said is they need to have more experience, and it gives us an evaluation. We have less MMA fights in the state of Florida than we have boxing. And an evaluation and a scoring criteria, as I continue to say, and make sure you record this in your media, that it's a fairness for the fighters.
And
And every judge has an opportunity to evaluate and should be evaluated for the experience that they have. Some may come in experienced, some may not come in experienced. However, it is our responsibility to make sure that these judges that are assigned, and I feel that from experience and from looking at the regulations, not the regulations, but the scorecards that are turned in for each of the sports, this is accurate and better for those who want to work as a judge in the state of Florida.
yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Shipley. I just don't see it. What I see is you trying to regulate everybody when everybody doesn't need regulated, because you just basically said that in the last 4 or 5 years there were judges at 50 rounds that were adequate.
Thank you, sir. But what you didn't understand is the rest of the story with what he said. So comments, he answered your question, and now you're being just a little over the top on that. And I appreciate you here to talk on things. But he did explain it. He explained it well.
Yes, he did. I wasn't saying he didn't explain it.
Yes, he did. Thank you very much. Is there any other
yes,
part
there
you want
was.
to?
Yeah, I was saying that before I was cut off, but yes, there is another part
And
there.
no, I didn't cut you off because I'm going to let you speak. So please ask something new.
And Madam Chair, if I may, we've reached the 3 minutes for the comment.
Thank you. Thank you, Lena.
No problem.
Okay, just a quick clarification.
Okay, do we have anything else?
So
Hearing none, let's take the vote. Commissioner Holly?
Yes.
Commissioner Holly's a yes. Commissioner Nunez?
Yes.
Commissioner Patel?
Yes.
Commissioner Webby?
Yes.
Commissioner Pike's a yes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, folks. Okay, the next on the list.
Yes, ma'am.
Shipman?
Yes, ma'am. The next rule on the list is 61K1-3.012, referee license and duties. This is an update of the rule, and we're talking about 2A, and it goes kickboxing or mixed martial arts, which is the form that and it's also online, which is incorporated in Rule 61K1-3.001. The FAC form can be obtained from the Department of Business and Professional Regulations, Athletic Commission. All first-time applicants, which is the most important change, all first-time applicants for boxing, kickboxing, or martial arts referee must be licensed as a trailing referee by the executive director. Licensure as a trailing referee allows the evaluation of an applicant's knowledge and ability to perform the duties outlined in the rule prior to the issuance of a referee license, and does not authorize the holder to officiate in any official capacity during a sanctioned event. As it goes down to 2, applicants for a referee license will be permitted to and assigned to the program of matches as a trailing referee. And we go down to, in making trailing referee assignments, the executive director should be cognizant of the relative importance of the match, the number of scheduled rounds, and any other factors that may contribute to the difficult or circumstances for a referee early in his or her career. Number 3, the commission shall make arrangements for trailing referees to enter premises as a signed program of matches free of charge. And number 4, an applicant may be issued a referee license after serving as a trailing referee for a minimum of 12 months and demonstrating in this period that he or she has the ability to perform the duties in this rule. Under B, officials from jurisdictions outside of the state may be licensed as executive director upon demonstrating an ability to perform the duties outlined in this rule. The official's record and ability shall be verified by the executive director prior to issuance of a license. And this is just going back into a clarification of the responsibility of a trailing referee. Referees are pivotal and being responsible for the safety of the fighters inside of the ring or the cage. With being outside of the ring or the cage, even with this time to sit there or to be at the ring and understand and communicate with counterparts, being officials, referees that's working this, it's a work in progress and a learning phase. Even officials that move up from the amateurs to the pro level sometimes have many problems. And this is just clarifying the processes and the procedures for evaluation, not for evaluation, but at a minimum, setting the standards of time for these referees to be acclimatized, have the opportunity to attend professional training so that they can be able to move forward and be professional referees. And this becomes a safety issue concerning referees about getting in the ring or cage and not knowing what is going on. So this is why this is recommended at a minimum, and it does improve health and safety of the fighters because the referees are pivotal in making the right decisions. For some, it would take longer than that. Some other ones, it may take less depending upon their ability and their experience. And that's all I have on that one now.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shipman. Do we have a motion to approve this rule?
To approve Nunez.
Commissioners, we have Commissioner
Second,
Nunez
Webby.
and Commissioner Webby seconds. This opens it up for discussion. So who would like to go first?
I would.
Anyone want to speak on this rule? Okay.
Yeah, yes,
Hearing none, let's take the vote.
I would if you can hear me. I don't know.
Commissioner Howard.
Unmuted.
Can you hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me.
And you are?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Yes,
Everybody else okay?
yes, I wanted to comment on this rule and continue my comment before. I
And
just
your
want to
name?
majorly awesome.
This is Major.
Yes, majorly awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure this time that
Mhm.
when I speak, if others speak over me, my time is stopped. Okay, because last time that 3 minutes was filled about half the time with you guys speaking. So according to the public meeting rules, I get 3 minutes uninterrupted. Okay, so let's begin there. Now, with the referee experience, Mr. Shipman just said that some people reach it quicker than others. Would it be fair to say that some referees reach it in 38 rounds instead of 50? Would that be fair to say?
Sir, go ahead and use your 3 minutes and then I'll respond.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, great. So what it looks like to me, and when I was cut off from the last rule there, was that we're trying to say that there's this blanket number that you have to reach in order to be qualified, when we know that that's not true in any profession, right? That's not true in any profession. There's no magic number that makes you qualified. Why isn't the commission judging based on individual performance? If I have a judge that is, for example, an Elon Musk of boxing, and he knows everything he needs to know, and he's proficient at 25 rounds, why shouldn't he be included? Why should he be kept back by the dumbest in the class? That's it. That's my time.
You have another 2 minutes.
Madam Chair, I would like to respond to that.
Okay.
Major, I'm sorry that you don't understand that this is concerning referees and not judges. The criteria and requirements are very different. Each one of those specific jobs has a different perspective and a different purpose. So therefore, you can't compare the judge to a referee. A referee has the lives of fighters in his or her hands as they're officiating the fight, understanding those rules that the judges, or the unified rules that are established for the safety of the fighter and for the growth of the fighter. And like I said, as with the judges, these referees have a responsibility to officiate the first fight of a fighter just as important as a second one. So with that being said, I don't have anything else to say on it. And I would like for you to know, like I said, that getting these two mixed up and putting them together in a lump sum is an option of what you just said. Thank you.
Right.
And I would
Thank you, Director Shipman.
I would also like to speak on this rule.
Of course. Is this Mr. Downs?
Yes, ma'am. Larry Downs Jr. here.
Is this?
Freedom Act.
Thank you.
It's related to
You're on.
referee. All right, thank you. And I would also like to not be interrupted. I've got my time started right now, so I will keep my own. Basically, what I'm hearing is, and you got to keep in mind that I know all the details. When you're whenever you start trailing as a referee, your experience is limited on the executive director or his designee as to how many events you even get to trail. They will say they don't have room around the cage, the ring. They'll use all types of reasons. I know this personally. Y'all know that I know this personally. So therefore, you can be denied arbitrarily and capriciously, or even because you don't get it, you're not in the clique. Now, clique can get on. They can get on in there. They can be assigned, and you know you can find this through Chapter 119 Public Records Act. You could find out all the different ways that it's selectively enforced, selectively. But the bottom line is, whenever you're as a referee, you're not refereeing. You're just listening to the other pro referees like me. Just like David Baggett, he's one of the referees up there. I trained him in the ring. I've trained him. I've mentored him through several professional events. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good referee. You got to put everybody's different. You got to put them in there. That's how you find out. It doesn't matter. The time is arbitrary and capricious, and I understand that y'all are in like lockstep. You know, it's most commission boards are in lockstep. It's all in favor, unanimous, motion to approve. Second, it just rolls on like that, and you know, and it's always more government. But what y'all got to remember is this is the free state of Florida, and it's always and government expansion is always under the guise of health and safety, which is not true. It is not true. There is this has to do with personalities and conflicts in personalities, and then you know if you decide to exercise your First Amendment right, well then you won't be chosen, you won't be utilized, you will be arbitrarily and capriciously violated, and we know this to be true. I mean, this is I've been through the rodeo many times, and what the director just said, I have in text message that is exactly the opposite of what he said. He said that it is more appropriate for me to referee on a lower card because I don't have enough big experience for the bigger cards, which is absolutely untrue. I've refereed for the UFC co-main event, Game Bread, and for him to use this, and I got 10 seconds. Thank you much. Hey, I'm just telling y'all this. Please stop going with what the bureaucrats want, which is more government. Don't, please. Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I must say that I think Mr. Downs is making some very false statements, and his experience level doesn't allow him to make those statements except verbally to make someone else believe it. This is an opportunity, like I said, to protect the fighters, making sure that we have the right people in place, and there's a process that goes by it. And whatever he's talking about concerning pushing somebody out the door, when officials go and make their trailing, and as well as when they decide to take their career, that they want to be a professional referee in their own hands, they do different things like going to training. They read the unified rules. They work with others. They mentor others. And that's how we know that people are doing better. And when these people can get in the ring, because it is a process, it's not a homegrown thing, and it doesn't interfere with the operation from that perspective. However, it is a health and safety reason, particularly for the referees, to be able to know what is going on and know how to make the right call under pressure.
So Director Shipman, how can you tell if they're good or not? How can you tell if their standards are better? How can you tell if they're actually experienced? Is
Through
it just
through communication first, with understanding the unified rules, from mentorship through the officials that we have that they're put up with to understand the rules and practice those rules. If you have a referee that can understand the rules and you can talk to them verbally and go through the rules, you know that they're progressing. If that referee,
does that mean it's going to be put in practice in the ring? Well, you can go ahead and talk the talk, but does that mean they're necessarily going to practice it in the ring?
No, ma'am. But in between that time and the mentorship and the development, from the first time that official steps in the ring, which may be less than a year, you will know if that referee is ready to go or not. Also, if a referee has been has been a referee for an extended period of time, and they think they're the best thing since sliced bread, when they start to slip, you can notice the mistakes that they have, which causes problem because they don't feel that they have need to go to training. The rules change, and you must understand how to apply those rules. But there is an opportunity for these guys and girls to go to training. Sometimes I would go down to a gym and I would see a referee workout in a scenario and put these referees through actual scenarios. These are the type of things that is not in the rule. However, those are the things that we do to make sure that the fighter is safe before someone gets in the ring. And it doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it does happen.
So it's almost oh.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Were you trying to cut me off? So
No, ma'am.
I'm just trying to understand in a whole different way of what everybody's saying. So if we're in surgery, for example, we want the most experienced doctor, I would think. So it's kind of sort of like this. We want experienced referees. We want experienced judges. I don't see how that's a bad thing. But could somebody please explain that to me? Why we want good, competent people, which keeps the fighters safe too. Good, competent.
May I offer input?
I'm sorry?
May I offer input?
And you are?
My name is Corey Schaefer. I'm president of ISKA.
Hello, Corey.
Just for context, I've been training referees and judges for the better part of 40 years. Our company, we operate in 61 countries and have operated in almost every state in the United States. I don't see this as an issue of bigger government or even as additional regulation. I see it as the commission fulfilling a primary responsibility by reasonably raising the standard for which someone acquires a licensing and also requiring a continuing education to either be a sole arbiter over the health and safety and fairness of our athletes. Again, I don't see it as bigger government. I don't even see it as additional regulation. I see it as the commission fulfilling a primary responsibility, and I thank them for their efforts.
Mr. Corey, that is excellently said. You are the water sprinkler on this fire. Thank you very much for stepping up and giving us comments. So any other comments
yes.
for those?
Yes, I'm sorry, Ms. Chairwoman. I had a majorly awesome again, ma'am. And I want to say, for the record, I don't have an issue with better judges or better referees at all. That's not the point I'm trying to make. What I'm trying to say, and what Mr. Corey just said, is that these regulations that they're implementing now, they should be the minimum standards. So what Corey's telling me basically is that the Florida Athletic Commission has been operating under the minimum standards for years, and it was acceptable. And now today, all of a sudden, it's unacceptable. So I don't understand where that it was acceptable for the last 4 or 5 years, and we had judges, and they did good, right? Because I'm sure the Florida Athletic Commission is not going to say that they approved judges that weren't qualified, right? You guys didn't approve any of those, did you? So everybody that you approved in the last 4 or 5 years under the 50 round limit was good to go. But for some reason today, all of a sudden, now it's inadequate. Now it has to be 100 to make sure that these guys are good to go. When, 6 months ago, it was 50, right? Did you guys approve any judges in the last 6 months?
Miss,
Don't say that. Better give this time.
Okay, so
Are you
if you
finished
guys,
with your
if
time?
you,
We don't want to step on you.
yes, sir.
Why
So if you,
don't you take your 3 minutes and then finish?
yes, sir. So basically what you're saying is you've approved judges and referees over the last year, and that they were adequate under the old standards, but today, now it's a huge health and safety issue, and they got to have these things or else they can't be qualified. But 2 weeks ago, before this meeting, they were able to be qualified and they were good to go. But now it's a huge health and safety issue. We need more rounds, right? The judges that we qualified the last 4 or 5 years, they're no good, right? They're no good because they don't have the experience because they didn't qualify under the 100 round rule. So are we getting rid of all the judges and referees and starting over, or are they, does their rounds since they were qualified last year count towards the 100 rounds now? How exactly is that being worked out?
Are you finished, sir?
Are you through? Would you like a response at this point, or did you want to continue?
Yes, ma'am. I'll respond, and then I'll let Mr. Corey respond. Major, I think that you're in a time warp. This is concerning referees, and what you're saying has no place into dealing and saying the incompetence of an official. We don't have incompetent officials. It's a growing and a continuous process of development of officials to protect the safety of the fighters. So I just want to clarify that so that hopefully you'll understand that. And we're talking about the referee. The judge's rule is already done. And I'll open it up to Mr. Corey Schaefer for response.
Well, respectfully, yes, ma'am. Respectfully, I would also appreciate that you don't put words in my mouth. I'm a plain guy. I don't even know how to spell diplomatic. So clearly you have an adversarial agenda, and you have no context whatsoever to understand the nature of training officials or the obligations of regulating. And that when I say I'm an advocate of continuing education for officials, I'm also an advocate of growth and change on the behalf of the commission to recognize always what would be better. It's not just saying that something will be better does not mean that what was previous was inadequate. We are all committed to growth. We're all committed to change. We're all committed to determining what is fair and what can provide the highest possible level of health, safety, and opportunity in our industry.
Thank you, Mr.
I would like
Corey.
I would like to.
This is the assistant director.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
the assistant executive director would like to make a comment.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, just a brief comment that kind of echoes what Mr. Schaefer said. One of our duties actually in this office is to periodically review our rules. So we're always looking at the rules, and based on several factors, including experience and in the field experience, we're just always looking to improve the rules. That may, that may involve what you might categorize as increased regulation. It might involve decreased regulation if we have a requirement that, through experience we determine, that maybe that doesn't make sense. So we're just always looking to like Executive Director Shipman said, improve health and safety. But it's not arbitrary and just it's never for the purpose of, what can we create today? What barriers can we put up? we strike this delicate balance between health and safety, and at the same time, promoting business in Florida, and doing everything we can to just continue improving professional and amateur combative sports in the state.
Thank you. Hear, hear. Well said. Have we all had our 3 minutes out there? Everyone who wanted to speak?
A few more have had more minutes than me. I would like to just address.
You had, this is Larry Downs. You had several minutes. Anybody keeping track there? Let me see. I guess you didn't use your last 3 minutes, so let's give you a minute and a half. How's that?
Okay.
Will that do it, Larry?
Yes, ma'am. That will do it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please go.
Mr. Corey Schaefer, and I'm not putting any words in his mouth. We've been through this back in 2010, 11, 12, 13. Same thing. It's, we can have, there's a thing called too much regulation. Too much regulation. And it's not, in my opinion, it is not designed for competence. It is not designed for competence. It is designed for select placement of certain officials. And I've watched this, and I know that y'all can, that some can argue, but the text messages don't lie, the emails don't. And I would not say something that was fraudulent without having either a text message, a videotape, or an email to back it up. And I think y'all know me well enough to know that. So I'm just begging y'all to stop listening to these people, these men and women. They're not guys and gals. These men and women who want more control over them. It's the only reason they do is because they benefit from it. Freedom is not the enemy, and they use it under the guise of health and safety, and just not representative of basic principles of liberty. Thank you much. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Downs.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I see Mr. Corey has his raised hand.
I'm sorry, Mr. Corey wants to speak? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, yes, please. Only because he's addressed it to me directly. I don't see this as I don't see this as a function of freedom. I see it as a function of responsibility. My organization, we're responsible for assigning thousands of officials per year to events, and I can tell you that there's a sole motivation, and that is to put the very best referee available and the very best judges available, because it's the right thing to do, but also because it serves ISKA's interests. Because certainly I think something that I share with all regulators is that on Sunday after the event, we want the fighters, the fans, and the media talking about the fights and not the officials. Like I said, we're talking about the regulation that is required because we have athletes who are pursuing victory by damaging their opponents through strikes. That describes the sports, and that should describe the responsibility we have to continually focus on raising the bar for our referees, our judges, our inspectors, our doctors, and those that supervise them.
Again, well said. Thank you very much for speaking up. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, let's take that vote. Commissioner Holly?
Yes.
Commissioner Nunez?
Yes.
Commissioner Patel?
Yes.
Commissioner Webby?
Yes.
Commissioner Pike is a yes, and it passes unanimously. Thank you very much, folks, for all the questions, comments. I think we learned quite a bit there. We appreciate it. Director Shipman, next on the list.
Yes, ma'am. The next rule is 61K1-3.027, weight classes for boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts.